So,
Morning,
good
ma'am.
morning. Good morning, children. We take up a new chapter called The Enchanted Shirt. I'll read out the poem, I'll explain everything, and then we will discuss the questions and answers, right? So here we go. Is everything visible to you? The Enchanted Shirt. There's a poem about a king who learns how to be happy. So now let us begin. Fight the first. That means fight means it's a section of a poem. Okay? So the first, wherein it shall be shown how the truth
Ma'am.
a drug for such as be of feeble temper. So now they are telling you that the truth is a life-saving drug for a person who has a very bad temper. That means if one is of a angry temperament or one who's very bad in his temper, for him or her, the truth acts as a medicine. Okay, so let us read about this. Just a second, children. I'll just be back. There's a lot of. So here we go. The poem says, the king was sick, his cheek was red, and his eyes was clear and bright. He ate and drank with a kingly zest, and peacefully snored at night. So now this is a story about, this is a poem about a king who was supposedly, and he had red cheeks, just as anyone who's sick, who's not well, has these symptoms of cheeks turning red or there's sickness all around. And his eyes was clear and bright. But the eyes were clear and bright. That means he was just feeling like he was sick. He ate and drank with a kingly zest, and he had a lot of enthusiasm. With all happiness, he ate and drank. That means he was nearly fit and fine, but only thing is his mind was telling him he was sick, so he was behaving like that. And so much so that he peacefully snored at night. That means he slept very soundly at night. He had no problems at all. But overall, he considered himself to be sick. Okay, this is what he told his people. Okay, but he said he was sick, and a king should know. The doctors came by the score. They did not cure him. He cut off their heads and sent to the schools for more. So now, just because the king was saying he was sick, though there were only the red cheeks, the eyes were bright, and he ate and drank in a healthy way, in a very enthusiastic way, slept very soundly, and yet he declared that he was sick. Now, it is a very normal thing. Do you think when you are sick, you have beautiful blushing cheeks? No. Do you think you have bright eyes? No. Do you think you can eat and drink merrily? Do you think you can sleep nicely in a sleep when you're sick? No. But yet, though the king was fit and fine, but what he declared to his people that he was sick. Okay. And so the whole kingdom knew that he was not well. And the doctors came by the score. By the score means, that means not one or two. There were many and many who came to cure him. And when they could not cure him, he used to chop off their heads. He used to cut off their heads and send them to the school for more. And he would send them to the school, medical school, for more learning, because he thought that these doctors were not fit to find what problem he had. Okay. At last, yes.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of cut? He cut off their heads.
To chop off their heads, to kill them. At last,
Okay.
two doctors came, and one was as poor as a rat. He had passed his life in studious toil, and never found time to grow fat. So now, since doctors were coming one after the other to look for the ailment, to know what disease the king was suffering from, what sickness he had. So then finally there were two doctors, very famous, and they had come. And out of those two, one was a poor man. He was so feeble and thin like a rat. Okay. A rat is chuha. Okay. So he was so poor and thin like a rat. And he passed his life in studious toil. That means in his whole life, all as a doctor he did was studied and studied and studied and worked hard. So it was just his studious toil. That means hardworking uh, he had done over the years and never found time to grow fat. So since he was into studies all the time, into his medicine practice all the time, he did not get time to grow fat and to enjoy the luxuries of life. Okay. The other had never looked in a book. His patients gave him no trouble. If they recovered, they paid him well. If they died, their heirs paid double. So now the other doctor's description is that he had never ever seen a book also. That means he was far from medical books. He was just a doctor for the namesake, where the people who visited him, his patients, they did not trouble him a lot because the patients must be very poor. So all they knew that, okay, he's a doctor, so they went for a cure. And the patients did not trouble him much. And if they recovered, that means if they were, whatever medicines he gave, if they were good enough and the patient was well, then they paid him well. That means they gave him money. They were happy that, okay, thank God we are safe. And supposing they died, then also there was no trouble because their heirs used to pay them in doubles. Ki acha hua, chalo mar gaya, now whatever share we'll get as a profit. So the heirs, since they were not bothered about these patients, so the heirs are the next generation who looked after them. So they also paid him in doubles because they removed them, and so now these uh, heirs could become the kings, or they could take over the place. Okay, so together they looked at the royal tongue as the king on his couch reclined. So now both these doctors, they asked the king to take out his tongue, and they inspected the royal tongue. Why they are calling this tongue as royal? Because it was the king's tongue. So they asked him to take out his tongue, and as the king on his couch reclined. So the king bent on his couch and reclined. Recline means thoda sa piche ho jana. You recline the seat of a car to take rest in a proper way, isn't it? So in the same way, he reclined his couch and showed his tongue out to them. In succession, they thumped his august chest, but no trace of disease could found. So now they, in succession means in one after the other attempt, they used to thump his august, that means his area near the throat, and his chest, that means his upper body portion. So they thumped it, that means they gave a thumping effect to it, but there was no disease which could be found. There were no traces of any disease they could found. Now the old sage said, "You are as sound as a nut. Hang him up broad in a gale." So now one of the old sage, why he's called a sage? Matlab ki sage is a priest. So since they were the knowledgeable person, I mean, they were the doctors, so they are called as sage. जैसे कि अपनी practice में बहुत माहिर होना, ठीक है, अपने उस हुनर को बहुत अच्छे से जानने को sage कहते हैं. So when one of the doctors said कि you are perfectly all right, he told the king that he was perfectly fine. So to listening to this, the king got very angry. The king roared in a gale. That means in utmost anger, he shouted, "Ki hang him up." That means he was not ready to listen from any of the doctors that he's fine. Okay. Then in a 10-knot gale of royal rage, the other leech grew a shade pale. Now, when he heard the king in such a royal anger, with such a royal anger and shouting, the king was shouting at that the other doctor who had come along like a leech. What is a leech? Who's dependent on the other person. So the main doctor and the other subordinate doctor. So here the leech is the other subordinate doctor. Okay, a parasite, like just as a parasite who clings on to the patient, on another person for to suck blood, etc. So that is the reason why he's called leech. Leech क्या होती है? Joke. Okay, वो बॉडी में चिपक जाती है, इसके बाद खून चूस लेती है सारा. So here the other doctor is called a leech. Why? Because he was totally dependent on the first doctor. So when he saw the king in such a 10-knot gale, that means 10 times the anger he had seen, in a royal rage, that means the king was very very angry. The other person, he turned very pale, मतलब उसको बिल्कुल वो डर गया बहुत बुरी तरह. But he pensively rubbed his sagacious nose. अब उसने क्या किया, लेकिन उसने बहुत
Excuse
pensively,
me, ma'am.
just a second please, but but he pensively rubbed his sagacious nose. That means pensively means बहुत thoughtfully अपनी sagacious nose को रब किया, मतलब बड़ा दिखाया कि wisely वो अपनी nose को रगड़ रहा है और सोच रहा है, you know. And thus his prescription, and then seeing the king, he wrote a long prescription just to save himself. The king will be well if he sleeps one night in a shirt of a happy man. अब उन्होंने प्रिस्क्रिप्शन खूब लंबा चौड़ा लिखा और उसमें लिखा क्या कि this king, he could be happy if he sleeps in a shirt of a man who's really happy. That means if the king wears the shirt of a happy man, he will be very very happy. So now, seeing the ailment, this other person wanted to save his life, because the other doctor had said that there's no problem with the king, so his head was chopped off. So now, seeing him, he got very scared. So he thought, let me give some disease to this man, this king, so that at least he's not shouting at me. So to this, what he did, he wrote a long prescription. फालतू की दवाइयां लिख दी उसने, though he knew that the king was fine, but he never said that he's fine. Why? Because he didn't wanted himself also to be chopped off like his other doctor. So he gave a long prescription and he told that, okay, the king will be well, king बिल्कुल ठीक हो जाएगा. All he has to do is, एक रात के लिए इसको एक खुश पर्सन के, जो खुश आदमी है, उसकी शर्ट में पहनकर सोना पड़ेगा. Okay, so this is what the other doctor told. Yes, now you ask.
Ma'am, in the first paragraph of this page, ma'am, there is a line: if they died, their heirs paid double. So, ma'am, king here will pay the double.
No. The heirs. That means all these other patients who gave him, they gave him no trouble. So these patients who had come, they when they died, their heirs, that means their successors, would pay double, because now they will get the position of the person who has died. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, next. Fight the second tells of the search for the shirt and how it was nay found, but was not, for reasons which are said or sung. So now here's the second part of the poem. Out of the whole lot, it's simply a part of a poem which tells that the people go looking for a person who's happy. Now, the king's men, they look all over the kingdom for a happy person. If they could
Ma'am, you are muted.
Ma'am, you are muted.
Okay, so we'll begin. Wide over the realm the couriers rode, and fast their horses ran, and many they saw, and to many they spoke, but they found no happy man. So now, once the king wanted to get a nice happy man's shirt, so he asked his court people, he asked his soldiers to go and look for the happy man. So all the throughout his realm is his kingdom, the couriers rode. That means the people for this appointed for this job, they rode on their horses in a very fast speed. The horses ran and they covered nearly every part of the kingdom, and they saw and met many people. They spoke to many people, but they could not find a happy man. They found poor men who could fain be rich. So they they found poor people also who were happy, who would happy to be rich. The rich who thought they were poor, and then he found that there were poor people, there were rich people who were not happy because they still thought that they were poor, and men who twisted their waists in stays, and women that short those wore. Now they saw all variety of men and women. They saw the poor people who would always happily wanted to be rich, so they were not happy being poor. Then he found rich people who were though rich, but they thought they were poor, so they were not happy. Then he found men who had twisted their waist in stays. That means they had turned all over, all around, looked for happiness all around, but they could not find it. And women that short those wore, that means even the women, after their hard work, after their short those wore, means ki whatever they wore, they could not find happiness in whatever they had. So all they found were unhappy for something or the other. They were still striving to be happy. They saw two men by the roadside sit, and both bemoaned their lot. For one had buried his wife, he said, and the other one had not. Now, while they were looking for happy people, they even came across two men. Those people, they sat near the roadside. Both of those two men were sitting near the roadside, and both were mourning. That means both were unhappy. Dono ro rahe the. Bemoaned means they were crying. And why were they crying? One had buried his wife. That meant out of the two men, one had buried his wife, that means his wife had died, so he was unhappy, and the other one had not. और एक की जिंदा थी इसलिए वो दुखी था. मतलब कि दोनों दो आदमी भी जो संग में बैठे थे रोड साइड पर, both were unhappy. एक इसलिए रो रहा था कि उसकी वाइफ मर गई है, that means he was not happy, and the other one was not happy because his wife was still alive. So finally the soldiers could not find a happy person in the entire kingdom. Everyone in the kingdom had one or the other reason to be unhappy. At last, as they came to a village gate, a beggar lay whistling there. He whistled and sang and laughed and rolled on the grass in the soft June air. Now, since they had looked all over the kingdom, they had seen rich, they had seen poor, they had seen men, they had seen women, they had seen people sitting together, but they could not find happy person in the entire kingdom. And then next to a village, they saw a poor beggar. Beggar is bhikhari. Okay. At the village gate, they saw a beggar who was whistling, जो सीटी बजा रहा था, मजे से अपनी धुन में था. He sang and laughed and rolled. और वो बड़ा खुश था, अकेले ही बहुत ही खुश था. He rolled, that means वो अपने में ही rumble trumble कर रहा था, अपने ही jokes अपने ही लिए crack कर रहा था, and he was all happy, though he did not had even a single house to shed over his head, but then too he was very happy. In the grass of soft June air, that means in the burning June, the summers of June, he was just lying in the grass, and yet without a home, he was the happiest person, and though he was a beggar. The weary couriers passed and looked at the scamp so bittle and gay. So now when the tired soldiers, weary means tired, couriers are the soldiers who were carrying the message of the king to look for a happy man. When they stopped and looked at him, had the scamp so beat and gay. Now when they saw that someone who plays tricks on others and causes trouble without any care or anxiety, that means he was all free. He was all gay and happy when they saw such a man. And one of them said, "Heaven saves you, friend. You seem to be happy today." So one of the soldiers, seeing this poor beggar, he said, "Oh dear friend, बहुत ही खुशी की बात है, लगता है गॉड तुम पे मेहरबान है, heaven saves you, friend. You seem to be happy today." उसने कहा कि लगता है तुम बहुत खुश हो. And why did these soldiers ask this? Because they were looking for a happy man. "Oh yes, fair sirs," the rascal laughed, and his voice rang free and glad. "An idle man has so much to do that he never has time to be sad." So now, to the answer, the poor beggar said, that rascal, that means that someone who is not at all bothered for anything. He had no manners, he had no etiquettes. So he just laughed and said, yeah, yes, sir. Fair sirs means the fair-skinned sirs. Yes, I'm very happy. And his voice rang free and glad. That means that happiness could be heard from his voice also. An ideal man has so much to do. वो बता रहा है कि एक खाली इंसान के पास कितना कुछ होता है करने को, that he never has time to be sad. So he's always so occupied in his thoughts, in his songs, in his laughters, that he has no time to be sad also. So that means though he's a beggar, though he has no money, yet since he has no money, he cannot do anything. He is happy still that he is free from all the worries which a money brings along with it. So this is our man, the courier said. Our luck has led us all right. I will give you 100 ducats, friend, for the loan of your shirt tonight. So now when they found this happy man, they said, oh wow, finally we have found a happy man. So it is our luck that we have got him at the right place, at the correct time of the day. And we will, now they were ready to give him 100 ducats. Now what is a ducat? It's a currency or a amount which was used in the olden times. So they said, we are going to give you 100 ducats, dear friend, only if you can just lend me your shirt for this one night. And why do you think this shirt was needed? Come on. Why do you think this shirt was needed?
Because, ma'am, the doctor has said that the king will be well when he will wear the Happy Man shirt for the whole night.
Very good. So this was the reason. So finally, the king's men were also happy that at least they will not have to run around the whole kingdom now. The merry blackguard lay back on the grass and laughed till his face was black. I would do it, God wot. And he roared with the fun, but I haven't a shirt on my back. Now, the blackguard, that means that rascal, that dishonest person, he lay back on the grass and he was very happy and he laughed at till his face was black. That means हंसते हंसते उसका चेहरा पूरा काला पड़ गया. And why was he laughing? वो कह रहा था अरे मैं आपका 100 ducats तो ले लूं, but I don't have a shirt also. What should I give you? मेरे बदन पे तो एक कपड़ा भी नहीं है. So how can I give you? Even if you give me 100 ducats, I would do it. I would have gladly given you my shirt by God's will. And he rode with fun. उसको बड़ा मजा आ गया कि लो ये तो शर्ट मांग रहे हैं मुझसे, जबकि मेरे पास तो एक भी शर्ट ही नहीं है. Piet the third, shewing how His Majesty the King came at last to sleep in a happy man, his shirt. So now this is the third passage from the entire poem, a glimpse of it, a part of it, where the king sleeps very happily once he wore the happy man's shirt. Now each day of the king, the reports came in of his unsuccessful spies, and the sad panorama of human woes passed daily under his eyes. Now the king every day used to hear reports that in his entire kingdom it was unsuccessful. That means there were people who were unhappy. There was sadness all around. Now in a view of a wide area of land, there was nobody who was happy. Each human being had woes. That means each human being had enemies and passed daily under his eyes. That means everywhere he looked in his kingdom, he found that the people were unhappy. Okay, now from here, the poem, the other portions have been removed and only the last clippings of the poem has been taken. Okay, so now he's saying the character of the king is being shown that each day as the king got the report from all over, from his spies, that means the people who went and looked after the kingdom secretly in a disguise, जैसे कहते हैं ना जासूसी करना, those are called spies. So when they looked and they came back, they gave the report of the king to the king that the kingdom was not very happy kingdom. And he grew ashamed of his useless life and his maladies hatched in gloom. He opened his window and let the air of the free heaven into his room. So now when the king heard every day about the same news that there was nobody who was happy in the kingdom, he felt really sad. He thought that there's nobody in his kingdom happy, and he calls himself a king. That melodies, that means this is a serious problem, and he's thinking of his own illness. So he should get up now, and he should stop thinking about his illness, which in fact he was not ill also, yet he behaved as if he was ill. So he wanted to get rid of it, seeing his people unhappy all the time. So it was then that he opened his windows and let the air. Now, opening the window and letting the fresh air come indicates that it was for the first time that the king was ready to help the people all around, because a king is always considered as a father figure, and he's there to help his people out instead of himself posing as if he's sick and killing the doctors for no reason and thinking that he's sad, whereas he was in all riches, he was in all best of the best situations, whereas the kingdom people were unhappy. So off the free heaven into his room. So what he did was he let the good ideas, good thoughts, just as there's happiness in the heaven, it is said that heaven is a happy place, is a kind place, is a perfect place, is a comfortable and cozy place, closer to God. So he allowed that to happen in his kingdom. That means he was ready to serve his people so that he could make everyone happy, bring heaven on earth. And so comes the last paragraph. And out he went in the world and toiled in his own appointed way. And the people blessed him. The land was glad, and the king was well and gay. So now then finally he realized that happiness does not lie in being sad or looking for a t-shirt or a shirt for happiness on wearing a happy person's shirt. That means you should get into the shoes of others. That means you should be able to relate yourself with the problems of others. And then if you help them, that is the true happiness. It is not that taking a happy person's shirt and wearing it will give you happiness. No, it means that you should feel everybody's pain and make it a part of yours. And then if you help out, only then you can bring happiness to everybody. So when the king realized this, he came out to the world. That means he went and mixed up with his kingdom people. He toiled. That means he worked hard for them. And in his own appointed ways, that means he looked forward for any and every possible way in which he could bring happiness to his kingdom. And the people blessed him. Now, when the king was ready to help the people, he got the blessings of one and all from his kingdom, and the land was glad. So it was now that the people were really happy because their king was supporting them, was all and all out to help them. And then the people were happy. And it was then that the king was also well and gay. That means it was then the true happiness came to the king, that he was happy and gay, seeing his people happy in the kingdom. So the moral of the story is the happiness doesn't lie in a t-shirt or a shirt which you borrow from a happy person. It lies in the fact that you should be helping the person who is in pain, the people who are worried, the people who are full of anxiety. You should go out and help them. And that is the true happiness you get when all the illness, all the sadness disappears. I hope this much is clear to each one of you.